Okay, welcome to our part 2, November 2023 question paper. We're still on question number 1. In simultaneous equation, we are solving for what? X and Y. We are looking for the value of X and the value of Y. But looking at the equation, we have X plus 2 is equals to Y, and 1 over X plus 1 over Y is equals to what? 1. Question that you must ask yourself: with this kind of problem, what must I do? What must I do? What must I do? But remember, we are solving for X or Y. It means that the first thing, that the next step that I must do is that I should have X is equal to something or Y is equal to something. And then looking on this equation, it's simple to use the first equation to make X or Y subject to formula. Let me show you how. And if you're gonna use the first equation, how do you make your X to the subject of formula? Mean that you're gonna have X is equal to 2Y minus 2. And then if you're using Y with the subject of formula, you're gonna have your what? Y is equals to X plus 2 over 2. I know you are in good job. You see what I did there? Somewhere. Now we are going somewhere. But looking at it, when you are using X to the subject of formula, you have only the whole numbers. When you use your Y subject of formula, you have the fraction. But you have to understand, I'm not that clever, so I can't work with the fractions, because sometimes fractions I would divide love. It's the story of another day. So let's work with this one that has whole number. We use it as our equation number 3. Meaning that this is our third equation that we have created. So now we are going to use the equation number 3, substitute it to our second equation. Why are we substituting it here? Because we have used the first equation to find this one. So if you take this one and substitute to this one, this and this is the same thing. There's nothing that you've done. But if you come and take this one, you substitute here, and then you ask X, you're just gonna put your value of X. You're gonna have your equation look like this. You have your 1 over your X is what? 2Y minus 2, remember, plus 1 over Y is equals to 1. But you can see, after moving from that problem, we find another problem. But we are mathematicians. Our goal is to solve the problems. Okay, you can see now we have two fractions here. And on those two fractions, the denominators are not the same. Every time when you have fraction, first thing first, you check the denominator. If the denominators are not the same, you work with the denominators. If they are the same, you work with what? With the numerator. So here the denominator are the same. We have to find our what? Our lowest common denominator. How do we find our lowest common denominator? By our highest common fraction or multiple. But in this case, you're just gonna multiply your denominator, that you become your what? Your common denominator. You did that, you get your marks. Together, we take we multiply this fraction, we multiply it by Y. You're gonna have what? Y is equals to 2Y squared minus 2Y. Then we have this one, we multiply by this 2Y minus 2. We're gonna have 2Y minus 2 over 2Y squared minus 2Y. You can see now our denominator are the same. They are funny. They look same. They look alike. They look like this. They are the same right now. When denominators are the same, what do? We add the numerator. Then we're gonna have our what? Our 3Y minus 2 all over 2Y squared minus 2Y. It's equals to what? 1. Don't forget that it's equals to 1. If you forget that 1 is equals to 1, you know where the danger is. Cross multiply. When you cross multiply, you're gonna have what? 2Y squared minus 2Y. It's equals to 3Y minus 2. And then then we put everything to the other side, then it's equal to 0. Then you're gonna have your 2Y squared minus 5Y it's equal plus 2 it's equals to what? 0. How? This is simple. This is simple. Now you can see we have our quadratic equation, meaning that we are going to use our quadratic formula in order to solve this. You know, our quadratic formula is what is called x is equals to minus b plus or minus square root of b squared minus 4ac divided by 2a. So because we are solving of y, is going to have y is equals to minus b plus or minus square root of what, b squared minus 4ac all over what, 2a. Then you come and substitute. You take this, you put it here. You have your y is equals to minus your b minus 5 plus or minus your b minus 5 squared minus 4. Your a is what, is 2. Your c is what, is 2. All over what, your 2, your a is what, is 2. Yeah. Then you go and punch it. We'll come and use our calculator. Then you have our negative, then your minus 5, which is our b, then plus our square root, just like that. We put our negative, then we square it, minus 4. Our a is what, is 2. Our c is what, is 2. Then we come and put our a again here, which is 2. We say equal to, and our y is equals to what? It's equals to 2. Now we know that our value of y's are 2, mean that it's plus or minus. You remember on the formula is plus or minus. So we're going to change our plus to minus there. Where's the plus to minus there? Oh, I jump. Lead, you put your minus here. Then another y is equals to what? Then another y is equals to what? Half. After finding the values of y, now we're going to take our third equation to find what, our x. Remember our third equation is equals to x is equals to what? 2y minus 2. Then we're going to use our values of y to find what? To find x. And that our x is going to be what? It's equals to 2. Then you took the value of y, which is 2 minus 2. Then our x is equals to 2. You put the value of y, which is half, minus 2. Then this is gonna give you x is equals to what? It's equals to 2. This is gonna give you x is equals to what? Negative 1. You do like this, you do like this. We're done. Okay, let's go to the last question. They said that given 2 to the power m plus 1 plus 2m is equal to 3 to the power n plus 2 minus 3, where m and n are the integers, determine the value of m plus n. So remember, what is an integer? That's the key word. There's an integer. Integers. We must know what is an integer. So looking at the expression that they give us, the first thing that we must do, we must split our expression in order to able to deal with it nicely. We have our 2m 2 plus 2m is equals to 3n 3 squared minus 3n. You see what I did here? I reversed the first rule of exponential. Now I can take out my common factor, which is what? 2m, which I'm gonna remain inside with 2 plus 1. It's equals to my common factor, which is what? 3n. I'm left with what? With 3 squared minus 1. And then I have what? 2m 3 is equals to what? 3n 8. And then this one I can still convert it in the exponential way. I'm gonna have what? 2m 3 is equals to 3n 2 to the power 3. Now we are in grade 12. We must quickly do this because our using the same basis. Then we're gonna have our what? Our 2m minus 3 is equals to what? 3n minus 1. Then you can go and check my grade 10 and my grade 8 so that I can explain further on this one. Then only if it's only true when m minus 3 is equals to 0 and n minus 1 is equals to what? 0. Then your m is gonna be what? Is equals to 3 and your your n is gonna be what? Equals to 1. So meaning that m plus n is equals to what? 4. Then you did that.